in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. Leave home in the sunshine, dance through a meadow, or sit by a stream and just be. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. Men hunger for freedom, but don't see their dungeon is only the thought that they're bound. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. There's joy all around us, why wait till tomorrow? We've only this moment to live. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air.
Many years ago, when I first really listened to the song There's Joy in the Heavens inwardly, I had the image come to mind of a large hot air balloon with my heart as the basket or the gondola of that balloon, but the whole balloon was held down by tethers to the ground. And it seemed to be a very apt metaphor that the heart has a kind of natural buoyancy, that it wants to rise, it wants to fly, but is often held down not so much by external conditions of people and circumstances and so forth, but by the tethers of our own ideas and expectations. And this is really the message that we hear in this song. In fact, Swami Kriyananda describes this thought when he shares the song's origin in the book, A Tale of Songs. And let me read that excerpt for you. He says, "The song had an interesting genesis. I was driving my car through a blinding rainstorm," and I think this was in San Francisco, "and could hardly see the road 50 feet ahead of me. I was intensely frustrated, for there was somewhere I was supposed to reach at a certain time. All at once I thought, well, why wish conditions were other than the way they are? If I can't have good weather outside, I'll create it inside." And then this song came to me. I wrote it out on a piece of paper that happened to be in the seat next to me, hoping that no traffic policeman would stop me for my erratic driving. Now, appropriately then, this song starts in the heart chakra and spends its time there really in the first three verses. We have, "There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air." The line, "There's joy in the heavens," really suggests that there's joy in an upward expansive attitude, and not necessarily meaning only the sky. The other images here given, like the mountains and the flowers and the phrase "melody sings everywhere," suggests that the heavens, as you will, is really all of nature. The heavens, all of creation, that is. In fact, the first verse here is very reminiscent of a number of other songs, such as "Melodies Everywhere." That's one that starts out with "Daddy's in the garden talking to the roses. Mama's in the kitchen, no, Sally's in her bedroom combing her hair. Mama's in the kitchen laughing with the neighbor. Oh, melody sings to us everywhere." That's that song. And then we have, they're the same words we have in the song "Come Chill and Wake Up" that starts, "Come chill and wake up, it's morning and old summer Old brother's son just shook his finger to tell you a new day's begun. Open your window and listen to the summer air, for melody, melody is everywhere. So we hear that line exactly as here we have in There's Joy in the Heavens. And similarly, there's even other songs that suggest singing in the meadow. There's a song called Sing in the Meadows, sing in the meadows and everywhere, sing out a blessing to everyone. There's that song. There's Hello there, brother Bluebell, play me a tune today, which is really positioned out in a meadow. And we have Sing Out with Joy that has sing in every mountain, oh sing in every valley, sing within your soul that you live in the Lord. And I think it even has meadows in there somewhere. Lift your hearts up to the Lord, which has a line, sing in the mountains, sing in the meadows, sing hallelujah, God is joy. And even then, the other one from the oratorio, he who clothes the field with lilies. All of these, I think, they have this imagery of singing and singing in meadows, which specifically address the heart chakra, which Ananda said is often the pivot point in the spine at which energy can either flow upwards or downwards. And so it's essential that positive, cheerful attitudes are those things that allow the heart's energy to rise, and that's what's expressed here in There's Joy in the Heavens and other songs, that constant reminder to keep the heart uplifted. And by doing so, by letting the heart be uplifted, you let go of negativity, you let go of cynicism. As in that line, welcome the morning, right? You can't welcome the morning, you can't welcome a new day when you're just cynical about the idea that life has no meaning or joy or purpose. But when you let go of those downcast attitudes, like I said with that hot air balloon, you cut those tethers that hold you down, then naturally your heart rises to express that idea, your soul is as free as the air. Now I want to go back just a little bit in this song because there's a unique guitar introduction that is very apropos to this particular thought. And it provides really a first intimation of this contrast between the choice that we have in the heart. So it begins, let me see if I can show it here for you. So you have a pluck, just with these strings, and then you hammer. That's it. Let me get it right. If I can play it right, let me get here. There it is. It's that little pluck, which is an odd sound, and then the hammering down, which raises the pitch without losing the vibration of the strings, and that's very much an act of tensing. So you get this. There. And then you get the release, a pluck and a release. So it's like this. If I can play, I can't, I'm not looking at it, right? Let me get my fingers in the right place. Here it is. I got to just play it down here. Something like that. So you get this first act of a hammering, which is very much like tensing. And then in the next phrase, you get the relaxation or the releasing of that hammer, allowing the pitch to drop back down, which is again a relaxation. And and then after that, you get this nice, kind of more joyful notes that come after it. And really, these parts together in the introduction are, in a way, telling us, giving us some instruction, saying, try this. This is often, I think, what Swami Ananda would do in teaching. He said, try this, feel the tension, and feel how it brings certain questions and uncertainties to your consciousness. And now feel the relaxation, and feel how there's joy in that. There's more certainty, there's more positive, that you don't really have all those nagging questions anymore. And that's I think a way to introduce this song, introduce these contrasts about the choices we're allowed to make. And the other thing that this introduction can also do is be a bit of a prod to wakefulness even, as if to ask, are you paying attention, with that hammering? And this is, oh, good, now you're paying attention. You can relax now with that little hammer release into the awareness of the joy that's all around you. So you have that. if I can get it. I can't always play it when I'm recording. It's a little tricky to do both. But anyway, that's that guitar introduction gives us those contrasts. Now we have that first verse, as I explained, which is really giving you that idea of how we hold our heart down with those tethers of expectations. And now the second verse then is about our first experiences when we awaken to a new day, and it's a reminder to see the positive in everything. So it continues still in the heart chakra, reminding us to hold on to that positive attitude even as we engage in our duties. It says, leave home in the sunshine, which is to say, go out with a sunny disposition. Not so much just the sun of the atmosphere, but leave home in the sunshine of joy. Dance through a meadow, or be active in the world, or sit by a stream and just be. Allow yourself moments of calm and just beingness. Don't get too wrapped up in activity, is what the song is saying. Don't get wrapped up in activity for its own sake. Remember to sit and be still on occasion and feel that joy of your inner self. And then what happens? The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. Now the stream here, we have this worldly metaphor for a flowing water in a stream in a meadow somewhere. But here the stream, or a river, as we hear in a variety of songs, inwardly represents the upward flow of energy in the spine. And if you relax into yourself with a joyful, positive attitude, then that inward flow naturally moves upward and lifts your consciousness out of the negative attitude of worry. And I really think it's interesting here that poetically and metaphorically even, Ananda needed to use the words down to the sea, because to say up to the sea doesn't work with the rest of the nature imagery. But inwardly the energy is flowing upwards toward the ocean of self-expansion, the ocean of divine bliss. And so to allow your worries to be carried to that ocean is to allow the heart's tensions and other worries you have to flow upwards here to the ocean of bliss at the spiritual eye and become diluted in that sea to the point where they really cease to have a reality of their own. And that's how it works as this antidote for worry. The third verse now recognizes that there's one more aspect of the heart that we truly need to address if the natural buoyancy of the heart is allowed to just let it flow upwards. Men hunger for freedom, but don't see their dungeon is only the thought that they're bound. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. Now, when you read these words carefully and look at just this little bit of poetry here, you have to pause and say, wow, because they really do pack a punch. Right here in this verse, we get a very powerful spiritual message that applies literally to every human being. The lyrics say, in effect, that people everywhere across time and space want to be free, and they go to all kinds of outward trouble to secure that freedom if they can. And you can go listen to the commentary I have on the song If You're Seeking Freedom, which goes through what you might call a very thorough analysis of these different things people try. And so, yet the answer here is very simple, that your bondage is of the mind. This is the very thoughts of being bound, the thoughts that your hearts and your desires, that all the thoughts that say you aren't free in this very moment because of these desires and expectations for the future. It's like that story that Swami Kriyananda tells in his book, The New Path, of another disciple, Daniel Boone, who asked Yogananda one day, in this discussion, I think Yogananda had said that once you're in a state of, I think, nirvikalpa samadhi, you can just say that you are free, and you would be free. You would be fully liberated at that time. And Daniel Boone challenged him and said, well, if I said I was free, I wouldn't really be free, would I? And Master responded saying, oh yes, that would be if you said it in the consciousness of freedom. But he said, you've already answered your own question. You said I wouldn't be. The trouble is, he continued, the mind is already poisoned with the very delusions it's trying to dispel, and so it lacks force. What really is said here then is that spiritual freedom is, in essence, nothing more than a matter of convincing ourselves on all levels that we already are free. So many devotees lament for years perhaps, like, oh, when will God ever come to me? But, Yogananda said repeatedly that God is here with us already. God is with you already. And that self-realization is yours, and you just have to increase your knowing, increase your awareness of that presence, that awareness of that reality, and not think that it's something external to you that has to come from somewhere else in the cosmos to finally reside here. It's right here, right now. And to know that, to increase that knowing, it starts with releasing the thoughts of bondage and releasing the desires, which, as the songs say, are rooted in future expectations. So what the song is really testing is whether we'll choose to offer our heart's energy upwards to allow its natural buoyancy to let it to rise, or to allow ourselves to be dragged downward by material desires, those tethers on the hot air balloon, again, that I spoke of earlier, that keep us bound, keep us down. And really, in fact, by encouraging us to let go, this song helps overcome that hesitancy to let go, the clinging to old attachments. Those are the strings going down to the ground are old attachments that dull our energy and dull that buoyancy. It also helps working with clinging to old comforts or clinging to the familiar. These are also similar qualities. Even if those familiar old comforts and old attachments are painful in a way. How often, in fact, do you hear older people gather together and talk about nothing but their various physical ailments as if that's their whole self-definition? But truly, your higher self here is calling you to a greater awareness, and that's then the message of the fourth verse, where it says there's joy all around us. This is the higher self talking now. There's joy all around us. Why wait till tomorrow, right? We've been putting our expectations for joy in the future, but it says, why wait till tomorrow? We've only this moment to live. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. Which is to say that joy, God's self-realization, samadhi, or just a simple state of happiness, whatever you want to call it, is again right here, right now, in the present moment in every one of us. And we can live only in the present moment anyway, so why not be present in that moment and find that inner kingdom of joy? And now it's during this same verse, we've been in the heart chakra for the first three verses, now we're in the fourth verse here, that we're starting to bring that energy upward, that if you've allowed yourself to accept that message and release the desires and the expectations and discover that joy all around you, there's an expansive quality that then begins to activate the throat chakra and bring the energy up from the heart. And that imperative of why wait till tomorrow is a very poignant and commanding question that comes out, and that's really helps the energy to kind of shoot up here past the medulla to say, that's just crazy. Why wait till tomorrow? Just go straight here. Don't wait. Don't put knowing God, having peace, having joy sometime in the future. Have it right now, is what it's saying. Don't get stuck here at all the, again, desires and expectations that are centered at the medulla as well as the heart. Get right up here, and you have the line, a heaven within us, right at that point. And really, it's that same phrase as we hear in the Bible, be still and know that I am God. The song is saying, sit calmly, focus your mind at the point between the eyebrows, and just meditate on that joy within you. And now it's from this point then that we can go back and repeat the first verse once more, doing so from this perspective of the spiritual eye, from which we can see that every moment there is joy, both in the outer heavens of creation as well as the inner heavens of the upward flow of energy in the spine, the inner heavens of higher consciousness. And appropriately, Swami Kriyananda signed this song to Day 16 of Secrets of Emotional Healing, where he wrote, the secret of overcoming discontentment is to realize that conditions are always neutral. Whether they please or displease depends on the attitudes we hold in our hearts. Practice, therefore, to be ever happy in yourself. Now, all of which, as we've seen as we've talked about the song, is spelled out quite explicitly in the lyrics. And really, if you think about it, discontent is the result of clinging to old stuff. You know there's more to life, and you can see it, but you haven't allowed yourself to experience it yet. Men hunger for freedom, but don't see their dungeon is only the thought that they're bound. It's all in your head, is what this song is really telling us. And then it says, through the high voice of the higher self, let go, let go. It tells us always, let go and allow yourself to fly as you were always meant to. So let's enjoy this song once more, this time in a 4-part harmony from the Joy Singers.
There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. Leave home in the sunshine, dance through a meadow, or sit by a stream and just be. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. The lilt of the water will gather your worries and carry them down to the sea. Men hunger for freedom, but don't see their dungeon is only the thought that they're bound. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. Desires are their shackles, the hope that tomorrow the doorway to joy will be found. There's joy all around us, why wait till tomorrow? We've only this moment to live. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. A heaven within us is ours for the finding, a freedom no riches can give. There's joy in the heavens, a smile on the mountains, and melody sings everywhere. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air. The flowers are all laughing to welcome the morning. Your soul is as free as the air.